My name is Mara Pesnell. I will be introducing Kathi Wolfe. Kathi Wolfe is a writer and a poet. She has written 4 collections of poetry titled Helen Takes the Stage, the Helen Keller Poems, The Green Light, the Uppity Blind Girl Poems, and Love and Kumquat's New and Selected Poems. Her writing has been featured in the New York Times, Poetry Magazine, and other publications. Wolfe has also written for anthology pieces such as QDA, a queer disability anthology, and Beauty is a Verb, the new poetry of disability. She is also a writer for the LGBTQ plus news source, The Washington Blade. Her writing is simultaneously hilariously honest and deeply touching in a balancing act that she pulls off with grace. Wolfe has the ability to write in such a way that you feel as though you are taking a direct look into her mind, full of beautiful imagery, hysterically funny commentary, and experiences that are wonderfully intertwined with so many in the LGBTQ plus community. Everyone, this is Kathi Wolfe.
Hi, everyone. Am I on and unmuted?
You are.
Can you? Okay, awesome. I always wanted to be Kathi Unbound. This is it. Thank you so much for having me. Thank you. A big shout out to John, and a big thank you to all the students, faculty, everyone at Clemson. I'm so thrilled to be here and so honored to be in the company in such wonderful readers and to hear and see and inhabit the world of the folks who read before me. Thank you. So this first poem is called After the Fall. We're all living in the pandemic, so that kind of comes through in this poem. After the fall, we first fell into each other's arms eons ago on Halloween. Mask slipped off, costumes put on. Pirates became parrots. Hamlets morphed into hustlers. Queens changed into kings. On the floor, girls, boys, with their wiles, pink and blue hues, vanished with the flick of a bat's tail. No apple fell from a tree. Eyes closed, hips, lips entwined. Who could see a plague year coming? During his plague year, Newton saw an apple fall from the tree and discovered gravity. Now, in our dreams, bodies chilled like the finest champagne and ice buckets dance in the fridge. Sirens flashing red bubbles and playing orange horns sing to them, never breaking out of their atonal serenade. No apple falls from the tree outside our window as we eat breakfast. We can't bear to see the dead as people. Eyes closed, hips, lips turned to dust. No wonder Newton saw the apple fall from his tree. The toast pops up from the toaster, neither too dark nor too light. Our moment of gravity. And this next poem, I think we've all been kind of thinking of families, both fictional and real. So this poem is called Even My Grandmother. Even my grandmother, frown lines on her face since she was 12, the flu taking your parents from you will do that to you. Smiles sometimes, but not too brightly. The telegram still in her head. Joe Herbeau, a World War I flying ace, has been shot down. He loved to fly almost more than he did her. Still Ruth savors his last kiss She laughs, remembering his fear of ants, and the time a brown dog grabbed the ice cream out of his hand. He'd stopped paying attention, was chasing her, trying to steal a kiss. If his parents hadn't left Russia, Joe would have died in a pogrom. Ruth smiles, but not too brightly. She looks good in red lipsticks, and there were no Cossacks here. Joe taps her on the shoulder. He is wearing a raccoon coat. You were quite the flapper during the war, he says. Teach me the Charleston. Ruth smiles, but not too brightly. She doesn't believe in the divine light. Joe has 2 left feet in the afterlife. This next poem is called Celestial Navigation, and the epigraph for it is, on being asked to leave a poetry workshop because I am blind. Celestial Navigation. I am not used to blind poets, says the teacher, his Ray-Ban sunglasses sliding off his nose. They're flying in the dark, landing who knows where, right in your face, in your hair, on your stairs. Homer in his Red Baron jacket hits turbulence over Troy. Milton and Satan lock wings, turn somersaults on the runway. Borges nosedives into his labyrinth. My plane wobbles, it's an air pocket. I worry, how will I braille the sky? Until my radar, a sleek winged dapper bat, flies in. I soar over my coffee, hear the echo of the northern lights in its green. And this next poem, I would love to say that it's outdated, but unfortunately, given all that's in the news and, you know, the Capitol insurrection, white supremacy, unfortunately, this poem is still timely. This poem is called The Things I Couldn't Say. The things I couldn't say to my wife dying in the hospital. Southern New Jersey, 1971. If only I'd robbed a bank to get the dough to make your heart beat again. I wish I could tell you why the cop stopped me from telling you one last bad joke, but the joke was on me. You're not going anywhere, Jew, the cop said. I did all the laundry. Don't worry about the dog. The kids will feed her extra treats. There's enough food in the fridge for weeks. This year, I'll even remember our anniversary. And this next poem, I've always loved the work of Alison Bechtel, Dykes to Watch Out For, Fun House, everything that she does. So this poem is called Blind Spot, and the epigraph is blind with a nod to Dykes to Watch Out For by Alison Bechtel. Blind Spot. I came out snapping my fingers in time with my lavender inner vision, Sappho with her cane, taking on the night, a true blue dyke to watch out for. You saw a sightless damsel in distress, at sea in the darkness, sexy as a nun's lingerie. Well, this poem is not a love poem, and that is actually the title of the poem. This is called, This Is Not a Love Poem. This is not a love poem. There were no lover serenades, candlelit dinners, bridal trains, towering cakes, solemn vows. One night we dressed in torn shorts, ripped tops, flip-flops, We'd forgotten to clean the cat's litter box. The light bulb above our heads went out. Next door, the neighbor's child played chopsticks on the piano. Sure, let's get hitched, we agreed, digging in to the mac and cheese. We exchanged ring-dings. Our tongues will never forget the taste. Actually, I grew up in Philadelphia where we ate really cherished tasty cakes, but in my poetry, I'm tolerant of other junk food pastries. Just a parenthetical thought to help you know the inner workings of my soul. Okay. Shifting gears here, this next poem is called On Your Last Birthday. On your last birthday, we had tea at the Ritz. You weren't into society. As a child, you wore jeans, played with your sock monkey, ignored your dolls. Jane Austen novels left you cold. Only people in old movies care about tea parties, you said. Still, you were starring in your own film. Liver biopsy, chemo, 3 at most 6 weeks. Left before the film ended. Wearing a coiffed blonde wig, blue cashmere scarf, you sipped Earl Grey tea and ate a scone with clotted cream. One of my favorite places that I've ever been to is Provincetown. And it's one of the places I wish I could go to now. But anyway, I sort of dream about in this poem. This poem is called In Provincetown. In Provincetown, it's not that you're not quite the vamp, walking our poodle, holding her leash, singing The Lady is a Tramp. Even the least camping mortician would take you in with enlivened eyes. You're more delicious than a beignet, better than the ones we scarfed down at the Café du Monde that night with the ghost of Blanche Dubois. I'm so happy to be out of that place, she said. Ghosts are your BFFs. You applauded when my dead lover, now a robin, singing out a, now you applauded when my dead lover, now a robin, singing out a tune, woke us up at 5 a.m. Angels often sing off key, you said. Watching you strut on Commercial Street, I don't want to hear the arias of tone-deaf spirits. I want to eat gritty, greasy, fried, unangelic belly clams with you. I'm making myself hungry here. This next poem is called Trolley, and I wrote it for Judy Garland on the 50th anniversary of Judy Garland's death. Trolley. I don't know how you always meet us in St. Louis, Peoria, Hong Kong, in mid-kiss or hearts wronged, morphing your monster mom, bad husbands, demon pills into spellbinding song. Knowing what we know, good witches spells don't gel, trolleys veer from the tracks, strangers kiss and tell, crowds get out of whack. Who would dare to board a trolley, befriend a Tin Man, or march in the Easter parade? Yet decades after you're gone, you make us see the rainbow we don't see. Step on the trolley, slipping off its tracks. Fall in step with the most crowded parade in town. No matter what goes wrong, what stars are born or die, you still sing the trolley song. And this is the age where we're all talking about our COVID shots, getting vaxxed. and we're all talking about pronouns. So this poem speaks to that. It's called At the Clinic. At the clinic, a Hitchcock voyeur, you lurk, watching my every move, every blink of my blind eyes, every step I take with my white cane. Sleeve rolled up, I'm more than ready for the shot in my arm. The moat that will prevent the virus from invading my castle. But just as the threat of disease is about to be eased, you come out of the shadows and move in for the kill. She is here to get the vaccine, you say, as the nurse comes near, before I can begin to speak. Here are her papers, you continue, as you and the nurse look at each other, ignoring my gaze. I'd like to pillage and plunder your insides. Why not, I think? You've ransacked my pronouns. You've plundered my I, smashed it into a she. She's fine, you say, after I've been vaxxed, before I can say how I feel. Your theft of my I has gone viral. And this next poem, I love coffee and hate plagues. This poem is called Coffee Spoons, and it is a little steal from T.S. Eliot, but you know, what fun would it be if we didn't steal things once in a while? Coffee spoons. Avoid cliches like the plague, my 8th grade teacher said. Shun them, or they'll grow like dandelions and infest your lawn. Together, since that night when we ditched our prom dates, ice skated, fell, then kissed by the lake, we are now the weeds and the overrun grass. We're in PJs, beige with a small blue stripe, nothing flashy, complete with footies. I accepted your fling with that sultry voiced podcaster as just one of those things. You hung on for dear life when I drank, you hung on for dear life when I played the drums and drank whiskey every night for a year. Now in the pandemic, survival is our guilty pleasure. Measuring our luck in coffee spoons, we avoid the plague as we cherish cliches. And we're all, you know, students are so involved in this festival and so many faculty are involved, and we're all students forever, right? We're all perpetual English majors, no matter what we do. So I feel as if, since I'm the last reader and I'm reading the last poem, we really cannot close this gathering unless we all go away with an assignment. So I'm giving us all the assignment. This poem is called To-Do List. To-do list. Make coffee, sort socks, walk around the universe and back, meet and greet the human condition, pack picnic lunch for your ghost, reshape the Moonlight Sonata, go to therapy, play Monopoly with sorrow, musical chairs with grief, write a poem that sends all the other poems to the nearest bar for a drink. As an afterthought, eat fire. Thank you so much. It was really a joy to do this.